anyways, so yeah, I watched a little bit of the Ethan and Hassan conversation. Watched a little bit of the Ethan and Sam Cedar conversation on stream. I gotta say, I'm impressed with Ethan. If he didn't want to kill all Palestinians, why did he criticize Hassan? True. Yeah, it's insane. And I don't know. I mean, I need to figure out how to formulate this thought before I say it out loud. One second. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know how anybody who isn't a Hassan dick suck is looking at what Hassan and all of the rest of those people are doing and thinking, like, I feel like all of the people that are defending or attacking Ethan and on the side of Hassan and those people on this that normally hate Hassan, I think it's just proxy wars for destiny, even though it's very obvious that Hassan is a horrible person. It does sound pretty bad listening to it once. It doesn't sound bad to me at all. This is assuming when Ethan says he's saying the genocide, okay, when he's acknowledged it. This is assuming when Ethan says this, he's saying genocide, okay, when he's acknowledged it's a genocide. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Oh, that's one of the other people. No, that would be awesome if you could. Because for some reason, Google Voice was not working for me. But anyways, so yeah, so I thought that Ethan did really good in the conversation with Sam Cedar. I thought that he did really good in the conversation with Hassan. I did not watch the whole thing because it was very long, and it kind of maintained the same energy throughout. So unless there is some sort of weird thing that happened in the last, I think I watched like an hour and a half of it. Unless something happened in the last part of that past the hour and a half mark, that was just unbelievable. Ethan being a horrible person or getting caught in a horrible joke, then I don't know. I don't know how people are looking at it any other way. Like Ethan is being such a chill dude in terms of like the position that he takes, right? Like, granted, he's gone really hard on everybody, right? And so you can accuse him of being deranged, but you got to call everybody deranged if that's the case. I don't know. Ethan Hassan Destiny. True. Ethan Hassan Destiny. Ethan Hassan Destiny. But yeah, I thought that he did. I'm just surprised because I have never had an impression of Ethan being intelligent. But like it's not like book smart. It's just like you can tell that he has connections in his brain, you know? You heard him. Sondsol is a genocide denier now. And also, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel stronger about my opinion on Ethan now that I'm more pro-Palestinian than I was before. I'm more pro-Palestinian at this point, or I'm more. How about this? I'm more against Israel continuing any kind of combat actions or war actions than pro. And still, Ethan seems very reasonable. Sorry, I mean it's assumed what Ethan says in the clip is genocide is okay because October 7th. Are you against Israel continuing their war? Because I don't. Besides the vague claim of destroy Hamas, it seems at this point that they're going through with what I said was, yeah, I would say at this point that would be a ethnic cleansing, genocide, whatever label. Like if they're going to completely take over the Gaza Strip and then push everyone out, which I believe I heard that was the new plan, right? That just got approved on Tuesday or Wednesday or yesterday. They're going to take over, occupy, and push out all the occupants. Like that's the worst case scenario for, like it. They're going to have to. Sorry, I'm not going to make the Oh man, I almost made the Destiny joke that's haunted him for the past 17 years. But it, I just don't know what they're trying to do. And I have not, like, usually there's a good argument that I've seen someone make, even on Twitter, in a debate, someone making a video about this, that, or the other. I have not seen a single good reason to do this. What's the alternative? Don't finish the job and then deal with this shit for another 60 years. I mean, I feel like there's probably a lot in between those two things, right? Um, and I don't care to pretend that it is a dichotomy, because there are other options. They're just harder options. Um, and n- both sides are just incapable, just incapable. This only ends if one side completely demolishes the other. If you're just making like an argument to practicality, I don't know. I would have to think about that, but yeah, it feels like my moral line has been crossed. I feel like, man, Israel, you guys have gotten literally everything that you guys have you could possibly want and more. You know, um, you've gotten everything that you could possibly want and more. You've gutted Hezbollah. Syria is no longer an issue for you because they're now bending the knee to you, right? Um, Iran doesn't have the same support structure in the Middle East that it used to because of Syria falling and Hezbollah being destroyed. The Houthis are the Houthis. Like what else? What else could you possibly want? Um, and even even on the practicality part of things, like you're yourself so much with everyone on the face of the earth. The opinion of you across the entire face of the earth is going to go even lower. And that is the only thing, was the goodwill of the United States and the Western world that kept you afloat for the first 80 years of your existence. You think the 80 years after, you think it's going to get better if you just every relationship. And this is, I mean, like, this still goes to what we're doing here in the United States. We're all of our relationships with every friendly country in the entire world, right? Like, at a certain point, you probably got to think about the politics of it. Like, you got to think about, well, I could go maximalist and get this thing that I've always wanted, and this is like going to end the conflict forever. But also, next time something bad happens to me, every single person that has defended me for the past, entirety of my existence might feel a little less inclined to do that next time. You know, only with Holy Leftoids, no one actually cares about either party here outside of alliances. No one actually cares about either. I wait. What's the last sentence there mean? Um, and I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that even your average Dem is going to look at what's going on in Israel and say, you're gonna ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip. Don't you think that there's another option? I feel like that's the way that the broader Democrat electorate is going to look at something like that. I could be wrong, though. Hey, you know what? I could be wrong, right? I'm talking about my moral intuitions right now, and I'm talking about what I think would be best for them on a, like, you know, long-term political thing. But I could be wrong. But I'm just saying, it seems beyond up that, yeah. I'm saying people don't give a fuck about human casualties. This happens constantly. It's happening plenty of other places in the world right now. Yeah, but those places aren't important to the United States, and Israel is. Israel is a regional ally, probably the closest regional ally that we have over in the Middle East. There's a whole mythos attached to it, both because of the Holocaust and because of all the wars that happened after Israel was founded. So there's people do care about Israel here in the West. They do. They have their narratives and counter narratives about how good and base they are. So people do care about it. Yeah. Outside of alliances? Oh, okay. Maybe I just don't understand what you mean by it then. Oh, you mean like literally outside of the alliance of the United States and Israel and okay, sorry. I thought that you were talking about like lefties allying with this group or that group. Sorry. I should have not overthought that. So, well, I mean, like, I don't know. You might be right, and I could be like, maybe there will be polling that comes out after they kill and behead and put up on a pike every Palestinian man, woman, and child on the beaches of the Gaza Strip as a warning against any that might stand against the Jewish Talmud. But I mean, I don't know, but maybe that'll happen and no Democrats will care. Maybe they'll push them all into Egypt and no Democrats will care, or maybe they'll push them into Egypt and Democrats will be like, yo, this is actually beyond what we possibly could have ever supported. You guys have gone maximalist and you guys have allied with Donald Trump to do a ethnic cleansing, and that turns the tide because Democrats hate Donald Trump and ethnic cleansing more than they like Israel. But it's not a good look for us to support Israel while they do this, but what looks good doesn't matter. If people want to see an end to this, it has to be seen through to the end. I'm not saying this is good, just a reality as I see it. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I think that I am a hyper idealist. I think I am. I am a soy hyper idealist. And I think that that's good. I think it's good to have people to pull me down into reality. And I think that it's good for people like me to actually push for moral solutions to things. Anyways, I need to stop using stream as like a hour-long diary argument with chat about how everything is and what I want to do about it. I agree that it's good to have opposing ideas. I see that. I see the passive aggressive, you idealist soy. Click on link already. Which link?
You will agree to these terms, or they will be agreed to for you.
See, that's what the United States should go in there and do, right? Like, I want to use the big dick of the United States to enforce a morality on the world. And I know this is like something that a lot of people hate. I want the United States to be the moral police of the world, whip its dick out the second that Israel and Palestine start genocide each other. We go in there, we crack some skulls, and then we say, listen, we're going to ruin you. We're going to make every single day of your life worse than the last unless you sign this peace deal. I want the United States to go in and do that shit on every single world conflict. God damn. Okay, can someone please tell me if I'm losing my mind? Like, I asked, like, I won't read what I thought he said, okay? I just want you guys to hear what 6 video shows, all right? And then I want you guys to tell me what you think Ethan is saying, because I just want to see if I'm losing my mind, because Sick did not respond to this.
Like, what they found there was about as much as you'll find for sexual violence in just about any conflict.
Yeah, I mean, yes, exactly. The thing that Hassan says, the talking point on it is like, oh, they used the fact that there was supposed to justify doing a genocide. And as far as I'm concerned, The way that I see it, I don't really see it that way personally. I don't think they need an excuse to do what they're doing. They're already doing. Like October 7th was already bad enough for them to justify it to themselves, right? They don't need.
Well, like the manufacturing consent argument.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think they need an excuse to do what they're doing. They're already doing. Like October 7th was already bad enough. Personally, I don't think they need an excuse to do what they're doing. They're already doing. Like October 7th was already bad enough.
So that's the video. Okay. What do you think? What do you think he's saying there? Because to me, what I'm hearing, actually, let me hear what you guys, just the two people in chat, please. Keep me sane. Third. Oh, sick. There's 3 people in chat now. Here. I'll pull it over like this. I think you're keeping me sane. Oh, that's bad because if I'm the one keeping you sane, that's rough. No, but I appreciate that. Let's see. Because what I'm hearing here is Ethan saying they didn't need to make up they didn't need to make up any additional things on top of that. Right here. I think he's saying October 7th was enough for Israel to justify a response that they don't need to rely on. Yeah, exactly. So the weren't the justification. That was just something that happened. They didn't have to make that up. They're not making that up because they didn't they already had, the moral mandate to be able to retaliate. So they didn't need to make that up. But I don't know why. Sick. Not only does he play the clip in its entirety, he then goes through and does like some weird editing here at the end.
For them to justify it to themselves, right? They don't need.
Well, like the manufacturing consent argument.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think they need an excuse to do what they're doing. They're already doing. Like October 7th was already bad enough. Personally, I don't think they need an excuse to do what they're doing. They're already.
Like it's blatantly clear. It's blatantly clear what he's saying here, right? Or am I losing my mind? Am I completely out of touch? So, yeah, it doesn't sound to me like, given the totality of everything I've heard the guy say about Israel-Palestine, that he is a rabid, Palestine want to kill all of them person. Yeah, see, internet guys, that's what I was saying. It doesn't seem like it's that big a deal. Like, just, if you want her to tie you up, let her tie you up. All right.